Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestant. Player one. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Brevet.
Thanks, Johnny. Welcome to Jeopardy, everyone. Good luck to you in the Jeopardy round. For this game, the categories are as follows. Literary geography. Sitcom siblings by show. Scary words. Asian history. Elementary. And MapQuest. Player one, start us. In Chapter 8 of this novel, Atlanta is very exhilarating and temporarily even better than Tara. Here's what we wanted. Gone with the Wind. Player one, you pick again, please. In the preface to the Moonstone, Vishnu commands 3 Brahmins in this country to guard the title gem night and day. Here's the correct response. India. Select again. In Pride and Prejudice, Mrs. Bennet says, "The country is a vast deal pleasanter than this city." We're talking about London. Player one, you pick again, please. Here's Sarah. She'll show you.
Hemingway's vivid description of Pamplona's San Fermin Festival in this 1926 novel helped make the running of the bulls a world-famous event.
The correct response is "The sun also rises." Player one, back to you for our next selection. It's the first river mentioned in The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. The correct response is the Hudson. Player one, pick again. Jodie Sweetin, Candace Cameron, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. Here's what we wanted. Full House. You get to pick again, player one. Justin Burfield, Eric Pear Sullivan, Frankie Muniz. We're talking about Malcolm in the Middle. You again, player one. Taron Noah Smith, Zachary Ty Bryan, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Here's what we wanted. Home Improvement. You again, player one. Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, Portia de Rossi. Here's what we wanted. Arrested Development. Player one, you pick again, please. Ralph Carter, Bernadette Stanis, Jimmy Walker. Here's what we wanted. Good Times. Select again. Bibliophobia. A fear of these might hurt you if you want to continue your studies. Okay, player one. Right. Player one, back to you for our next selection. If you suffer from heliophobia, a fear of this, you might be a vampire. It's player one. Right you are.
Yeah! Woo!
Player one, pick again. If you have pluviophobia, the fear of this weather condition, we probably won't find you singing in it. Player one?
Yeah!
Right you are. Player one, you pick again, please. If you've got dendrophobia, a fear of these, we suggest not climbing any. It's player one. No, sorry. Here's what we wanted. Trees. Player one, back to you for our next selection. It's the Daily Double. You are in the lead right now. Decide on your wager, player one. Okay, here is the clue. If you have stygiophobia derived from the river Styx, you have a fear of this, so act right. That's not it. Here's what we wanted. Hell. Player one, Pick again. In the 1920s, the Kemalists opposed the Sultan in this country and eventually prevailed. Here's the correct response. Turkey. You get to pick again, player one. In December of 1946, he attacked the French at Tonkin, beginning a war that ended 8 years later. It's player one. Hey, you're right. You again, player one. In 1739, the peacock throne built for Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan was stolen by these people. Here's the response we were looking for. The Persians. Player one, back to you. In 1782, when Chao Phraya Chakri became King Rama I, he moved his capital across the river to this city. Here's what we wanted. Bangkok. Player one, back to you. Kelly will present this clue.
These nomadic horsemen, who overran most of Asia in the Middle Ages, lived in portable lattice tents known as yurts.
Yes, player one? That's right. Way to go. You've got some money again. Player one, back to you for our next selection. The Bible tells us of this element being beaten into plates, cut into wires, and worked into the clothing worn by Aaron. Player one? Nope. The correct response is gold. Select again. Pu. But this element, 238, doesn't stink. It powers pacemakers. Player one? Yes. You again, player one. I know Bernard Courtois discovered this element in 1811. Here's the correct response. Iodine. Player one, back to you for our next selection. The Kennedy Space Center has used this gas, atomic number 54, in high-intensity lights for night landings. Here's the correct response. Xenon. Select again. This ductile, non-radioactive element has an atomic weight of 26.98. Here's what we wanted. Aluminum. Player one, back to you. To visit Sensoji Temple in this capital, cross Komagata Bridge, turn right, and walk north on the Nakamisidori. Here's the correct response. Tokyo. Player one, back to you for our next selection. The drive from Denmark to Malmö in this country includes a 5-mile stretch across the Öresund Bridge. Here's what we were looking for. Sweden. Player one, back to you. From Paris's Royal Saint-Honoré Hotel, walk a half-mile down Rue Saint-Honoré, turn right, and walk into its glass pyramid. Here's the response we were looking for. The Louvre. Player one, back to you. To visit San Marino, take a winding road up Mount Titano, a short drive from Rimini in this country. The correct response is Italy. Here's the $1,000 clue for you. From Ulaanbaatar, go straight south to Wuhai, flip a left, and go about 500 miles to reach this world capital. Here's the correct response. Beijing. The full Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Clues are worth $400 to $2,000 in these categories. Get positive. Adventures in the air. Nasal passages. Entertainment history. It's a gas. And our world. Let's get back into this now. You have control of the board. The book Whale Done applies the positive techniques used at this marine park to business and family life. We're talking about SeaWorld. We return to you, Player 1. Thriving through stress, like him conducting Ode to Joy while ill, is the idea in a book called The Hymn Factor. Here's what we wanted. Ludwig van Beethoven. Player 1, you pick again, please. His power of positive thinking begins, believe in yourself, have faith in your abilities. It's Player 1. No. Here's what we were looking for. Norman Vincent Peale. You get to pick again, Player 1. An illustrated book pairs Alexander Calder's artwork with the lyrics to his song, Don't Worry, Be Happy. Player 1? Ooh, sorry. That's in. The correct response is Bobby McFerrin. Player 1, choose again. Oprah has unlocked The This, a book by Rhonda Byrne about using positive visualization. Here's the correct response. Secret. Please pick again, Player 1. Hitting a speed of about 800 miles per hour, Chuck Yeager broke this barrier in October of 1947. Here's the response we were looking for. The sound barrier. Please pick again, Player 1. In 1907, Paul Cornu became the first man to fly freely in one of these horizontally rotored aircraft. Player 1? Right. Player 1, you pick again, please. Answer? One of the Daily Doubles. You are in first place. How much? And the Daily Double clue. August 1983 saw the first night launch of this reusable U.S. orbital vehicle. Right you are. We return to you, Player 1. Taking 16 hours in 1919, British aviators Alcock and Brown became the first to cross this large body of water non-stop. Here's what we were looking for. The Atlantic Ocean. We return to you, Player 1. In 1909, Louis Blériot became the first person to fly in a plane over this, between Great Britain and France. We're talking about the English Channel. We return to you, Player 1, and there in the wood a piggy-wig stood, with a ring at the end of his nose, in the poem about this bird and a feline. Let's hear it, Player 1. No, that's not right. Here's what we were looking for. Owl. Player 1. Pick again. Truly that nose is the glorious cross he bears, is said of this romantic Rostand hero. Here's the correct response. Cyrano de Bergerac. Player 1, you pick again, please. To see what is in front of one's nose needs a constant struggle, wrote this man in 1946, not in 1984. Here's the correct response. George Orwell. Select again. Lightly was her slender nose tip-tilted like the petal of a flower. This lord wrote in Idylls of the King. Here's the response we were looking for. Lord Tennyson. You again, Player 1. A Pascal Pensée. If the nose of this queen had been shorter, the whole face of the world would have been changed. Here's what we wanted. Cleopatra. You again, Player 1. Born William Claude Dukenfield, he took this last name as his stage name. Here's the correct response. Fields. Player 1, you pick again, please. Dance style of Brothers and Kennedy Center honorees Fayard and Harold Nicholas. The correct response is tap. Select again. In vaudeville, Jerry, Helen, Josephine, and George M. were the four these. Here's what we wanted. The Cohans. Player 1, choose again. Rochester. Did you know that in 1953, Harry Shearer played this comic as a boy on his self-titled TV program? Okay, Player 1. The correct response is Jack Benny. Please pick again, Player 1. Kathy Lewis was this title character paired with Fibber McGee on a 50s TV show based on a hit radio show. Here's the correct response. Molly. Player 1, back to you. DuPont owns the trademark to this refrigerant gas introduced in the 1930s to replace hazardous substances. Okay, Player 1. We're talking about Freon. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. It immediately precedes lithium on the periodic table. Here's the correct response. Helium. You get to pick again, Player 1. The name of this gas comes from the Greek for strange. Here's what we wanted. Xenon. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. To make a simple fire extinguisher, put vinegar in baking soda, producing this gas that will put out a flame. Player 1. That's right. Way to go. On the plus side again. Player 1, back to you. Answer?
Yeah!
The second daily double. And you're in the lead now. Player 1, please select your wager. The clue, around 1910 for chemical company BASF, Carl Bosch learned to make quantities of this gas from nitrogen and hydrogen. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the correct response. Ammonia. Player 1, choose again. A dishonest or unprincipled man, or one of the X-Men. Player 1. Right. Select again. What the Brits call a Macintosh isn't an apple, but one of these. It's Player 1. Nope. Sorry. Here's what we were looking for. A raincoat. We return to you, Player 1. In the movies, it was Charles Foster Kane's cryptic final word. Here's the correct response. Rosebud. Please pick again, Player 1. The Oxford English Dictionary defines it as a noisy dispute or quarrel. Player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. The correct response is a row. And the last clue for $2,000. Here's Sarah from our Clue Crew with the clue.
Similar to a root, it's a botanical term for a thick stem from which shoots develop into new plants.
Yes, Player 1. We're talking about...
Rhizome.
We'll return in a moment. Sorry, players, but no one has a positive score, which means no final Jeopardy this time.
Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestant. Player one. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Rivet.
Thanks, Johnny. Welcome to Jeopardy, everyone. Good luck to you in the Jeopardy round. For this game, the categories are as follows. In the bookstore, arachnids, word up, the 20th century, Monroe-puri, and tennis. Player one, you start us off. The Teammates by David Halberstam chronicles the friendships of Ted Williams and others on this team. Let's hear it, player one. Correct. Select again. John Grisham switched gears with Skipping This Holiday, about a couple who want to skip the consumerism. Yes, player one? Hey, you're right. We return to you, player one. The Devil in the White City examines murder, magic, and madness at the 1893 World's Fair in this U.S. city. Okay, player one.
Yeah!
Right you are. Select again. In a Stephen King book, writer Paul Sheldon is weary of this title heroine he created. It's player one. Yep. You again, player one. Appropriately, part 3 of this 1953 novel is Burning Bright. Player one? That's it. Player one, you pick again, please. This large, hairy type of spider takes its name from an Italian town. Player one? Hey, you're right.
Yeah! Woo!
Player one, back to you for our next selection. Texas cattle fever is one of many diseases transmitted by the bite of this type of blood-sucking arachnid. It's player one. Right you are. Please pick again, player one. At least 2 types of poison are known to be injected by its tail stinger, hemotoxin and neurotoxin. It's player one. Yep.
Yeah!
Player one, choose again. Also known as the Harvest Man, this spindly arachnid differs from spiders in that it has only a single body segment. It's player one. Nope. Here's the correct response. The daddy longlegs. Player one, back to you. Arachnids are a major class of this phylum that includes insects and crustaceans. It's player one. Right.
Yeah! Woo!
Player one, you pick again, please. Change your attitude, or rather one letter in attitude, to get this word meaning height. Okay, player one.
Yeah!
Yes. You get to pick again, player one. It's what we call a word that has the same meaning as another word. Yes, player one? Yep.
Yeah!
Select again. This word can mean a hole or any hollow place, especially in a tooth. Let's hear it, player one. Good for you. Please pick again, player one. It's one of the bones of the forearm, or a line from the center of a circle to the circumference. It's player one. That's it. You again, player one. From the Latin for kidnapper, it means to take someone else's ideas or writings and pass them off as your own. Okay, player one. Correct. You again, player one. In the 1920s, this fascist leader of Italy set up a puppet regime in Albania and reconquered Libya. It's player one. You got it.
Yeah! Woo!
Player one, back to you. Elizabeth II succeeded her father, this man, who died unexpectedly at age 56. It's player one. You are correct. Player one, back to you for our next selection. On February 8, 1904, Japanese ships attacked this country's fleet at Lushun, Manchuria, beginning a war. Okay, player one. That is correct. Player one, you pick again, please. On February 15, 1965, Canada's new flag, which featured an 11-pointed one of these, flew for the first time. It's player one. Right. We return to you, player one. On Valentine's Day, 1989, the Ayatollah Khomeini showed no love for this author's satanic verses, giving him a death sentence. Player one?
Yeah!
You are correct. We return to you, player one. In 1948, she had one line in Love Happy, the last Marx Brothers movie. Let's hear it, player one. Yes.
Yeah! Woo!
We return to you, player one. Forget DiMaggio and Berra. The secret to the Yankees' 11 pennants from 1947 to 1960 was Lucy Monroe's singing of this. It's player one. That's it. Player one, back to you. See Marion Monroe train as a child psychologist and co-write the book starring this unexciting boy-girl pair. Yes, player one? Good. You get to pick again, player one. 1940s singing star Vaughn Monroe had a rich voice in this middle male range, hence the nickname Old Leather Tonsils. Yes, player one? Good. You get to pick again, player one. It's the Daily Double. You are in the lead right now. Please enter your wager. Answer this. In 1912, Harriet Monroe launched the magazine simply called This. It soon published T.S. Eliot and Ezra Pound. Right. You again, player one. The ladies' singles trophy for this event is a sterling silver tray called the Rosewater Dish. Let's hear it, player one.
Yeah!
Select again. It's the ITF Team Championship for men. It's player one.
Yeah!
We return to you, player one. Here's Kelly to start us off.
To hit one of these mid-air return strokes, punch at the ball, keeping the racket in front of your body and the racket face perpendicular to the court.
Yes, player one? Sorry. Here's what we were looking for. A volley. Player 1, choose again. This feisty American's 1984 winning percentage of .965 is the best in the ATP Tour's modern era. Let's hear it, Player 1. Good for you. And the last clue for $1,000. In 2007, Switzerland issued its first stamp of a living person, a 1 franc stamp depicting this tennis player. Yes, Player 1? That's it. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Categories for the Double Jeopardy round are philosophy, botany. B is for Bard. Presidential families. Convert from the Roman numeral. And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum. All right, if you're ready, it's Double Jeopardy time. Cartesian refers to the ideas of this man, the father of modern philosophy. Yes, Player 1?
Yeah!
Good for you. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. The first Greek philosophers tried to understand the universe, practicing this ology, from the Greek for order. It's Player 1. You got it. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. Fideists say that the source of religious belief is not reason, but this. Okay, Player 1.
Yeah!
Good for you. We return to you, Player 1. This German philosopher's idea of the Übermensch included people like Frederick the Great. Let's hear it, Player 1.
Yeah!
Right. Player 1, choose again. Answer, one of the daily doubles. You are currently in the lead. Decide on your wager, Player 1. Here is your daily double clue. The opposite of determinism is this two-word phrase used in an 1889 Henri Bergson book title. Correct. We return to you, Player 1. The long leaves of the milfoil plant are especially suited to absorb this gas underwater. Yes, Player 1? You got it. You get to pick again, Player 1. Parasitic fungi cause this disease of cereal grasses that forms black powdery masses. Let's hear it, Player 1. Correct. Player 1, pick again. This term, which is from the Greek for naked seed, refers to non-flowering plants such as conifers. Let's hear it, Player 1. Yes. Select again. This part of a plant's pistil has chemicals in it that will cause it to reject the wrong types of pollen. Let's hear it, Player 1. Right you are. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. You can collect water from a plant's leaves because they lose water vapor through pores called these. Okay, Player 1. That is correct. Player 1, you pick again, please. Gassy surname of Sir Toby in Twelfth Night. Okay, Player 1. Good.
Yeah! Woo!
Please pick again, player one. This ghostly guy is described by the witches as lesser than Macbeth and greater. Yes, player one? Correct. We return to you, player one. His downfall was at Philippi. Yes, player one? Correct. Player one, back to you. At the end of Much Ado About Nothing, Benedict quiets this love of his with a kiss. Okay, player one. That's it.
Yeah! Woo!
You get to pick again, player one. In The Taming of the Shrew, she's courted by 3 men. Yes, player one?
Yeah!
Good. You again, player one. His daughter Margaret was born in Independence, Missouri. Let's hear it, player one. Good for you. Select again. This 26th president's youngest son, Quentin, was killed in air combat during World War I. Player one? That's not it. Here's the response we were looking for. Theodore Roosevelt. You get to pick again, player one. He married his second wife, Edith Bowling Galt, during his first term. Let's hear it, player one.
Yeah!
That's correct. Player one, choose again. This 8th president's wife, Hannah, died of tuberculosis in 1819. Yes, player one?
Yeah!
You again, player one. His son married Mary Catherine Helen in the White House on February 25th, 1828. Yes, player one? No, sorry. Here's the response we were looking for. John Quincy Adams. Player one, you pick again, please. The notation on a letter or email to note other recipients has this numerical equivalent. It's player one. Sorry. Here's the correct response. 200. You again. The Minnesota company with brands like Post-it, Scotch, and Filtrete gets this big value. Yes, player one? Yes. We return to you, player one. The postal abbreviation of the state whose capital is Annapolis equals this quantity. It's player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's what we were looking for. 1,500. You again, player one. The Norwegian angel Miss Ullmann, numerically. We're talking about 54. Player 1, back to you. The last name of silent movie cowboy star Tom has this value. The correct response is 1009. Player 1, choose again. As a solo artist, his presenters were ex-bandmates, not the Beatles, but the Traveling Wilburys. Yes, Player 1? Ooh, sorry. That's in. Here's the correct response. George Harrison. We return to you, Player 1. In 1986, it was Hail, Hail, this 1950s performer, the very first inductee. Yes, Player 1? Here's the correct response. Chuck Berry. Player 1, you pick again, please. Artists become eligible this many years after their first release. The Beach Boys went in 1988. Springsteen in 1999. Here's what we were looking for. 25. Player 1, pick again. Answer? The second daily double. And you have the lead. So, what's your wager? Here is your clue. This singer is paired with her ex-husband and songwriting partner, Jerry Goffin. And the $2,000 clue? Here's Sarah with the clue.
The electric guitar casts a long shadow over rock and roll. In 1995, the Hall inducted this inventor of the iconic Stratocaster.
Player 1? Right. Congratulations to you. You'll be continuing on to Final Jeopardy when we come back. So much depends on how you do in the Final Jeopardy category, which today is sports business. What are you going to wager? And now the final clue. In 1993, this man said, "What Phil and Nike have done is turn me into a dream." Did you come up with the correct response? With that correct response, you will gain. Congratulations, Player 1.
Yeah!
You are our new champion. We'll see you next time.